Shalom, my Hebrews and Shebrews. This is Oilfield Disciple. Welcome to our daily bread. Um, kind of drained from the message. Tired. Um, when I began to give my message to the assembly today, I just want to talk about this a minute, and then we're going to get on with our daily bread. But I just want to shout out to y'all. Thank everyone who watches my videos and supports me. Um, thank you, anyone that is blessed Yahweh, that any of my message would encourage you, lift you up, frustrate you to go look this up on your own. Um, when I began bringing the word this morning, I really didn't know what Yahweh had for me, because today um, is the day that 90% of the Western culture celebrates that wicked pagan holiday of Easter. And I know what I wanted to do. I wanted to preach against it, and I wanted to, I've got all the facts, I've got all the scriptures, but I knew Yahweh had something more. And until I go look at the video, um, really, I don't know exactly what all I preached. I know that I called out Kenneth Copeland Ministries for his blasphemy. Um, I'll try to get a link to that video so y'all can see what I'm talking about. The base of the message is pull your head out of the sand. Quit following the masses. Look at these scriptures and see how they line up with what you're being taught. When you realize they're not, you got a choice to make. At the end of the day, if we do not lay down our life and surrender for Jesus Messiah, Yeshua Messiah, I don't know what to say. Judgment is coming. He is risen. He is our power, our glory, our mercy, and our grace. But I guarantee you, we can't have mercy and grace if there's not a standard of judgment. Why would you need it if there's not a standard of judgment? So anyway, we will be in Better Sheet 23 today, Genesis 23, Matthew 23, Psalms 24, and Proverbs 11 is what I'll try to get through today. Now, our last daily bread, Abraham was told to take his son up to the mount and sacrifice him. And without question, he did. Who among us today are that devoted to our Lord? I'm not. And I know I got to work there. I got work to do to get to that point. And that's where I'm striving to. Let's read. Better sheet. Flip the camera around. I got some trees for you. There you go. Pine trees. And Sarah lived 127 years, the years of the life of Sarah. And Sarah died in Kirith Arba, that is Hebron, in the land of Canaan. And Abraham came to mourn for Sarah and to weep for her. Then Abraham rose up from beside his dead and spoke to the sons of Heth, saying, I am a sojourner and a settler among you. Give me property for a burial site among you, so that I bury my dead from my presence. And the sons of Heth answered Abraham, saying, Hear us, my master. You are a prince of Elohim among us. Bury your dead in the choicest of our burial sites. None of us withhold you this burial site from burying your dead. So Abraham rose and bowed himself to the people of the land, the sons of Heth, and he spoke with them, saying, If it is your desire that I bury my dead from my presence, hear me, and approach Ephron, son of Soar, for me. And let me have the cave of Machpelah, which he has, which is at the end of the field. Let him give it to me for the complete amount of silver as property for a burial site among you. You know, that's integrity on both sides there that we've lost in this culture. You know, can I have some land? Absolutely. Take your pick. I want to pay for it. You don't have to. Yeah, but I need to because it's important that I remain honorable. Work as unto the Lord and not as unto man. Colossians 3:23. And he spoke to Ephron in the hearing of the people of the land, saying, if only you would hear me, I shall give the amount of silver for the field. Take it from me, and let me bury my dead there. Ephron answered Abraham, saying to him, my master, listen to me. The land is worth 400 shekels of silver. What is that between you and me? So bury your dead. Dude, I ain't worried about your money. Doesn't bother me a bit. I'm happy to give it to you. That's a blessing that I would like to give. And Abraham listened to Ephron, and Abraham weighed out the silver for Ephron, which he had named in the hearing of the sons of Heth, 400 shekels of silver, currency of the merchants. And the field of Ephron, which was in Machpelah, which was before Mamre, the field in the cave, which was in it, and all the trees that were in the field, which were within all the surrounding borders, were deeded to Abraham as a possession, in the presence of the sons of Heth, before all who went in at the gate of his city. And after this, Abraham buried Sarah, his wife, in the cave of the field of Machpelah, before Mamre, that is Hebron, in the land of Canaan. Thus the field and the cave that is in it were deeded to Abraham by the sons of Heth as property for the burial site. Me and my wife are so close, I don't even want to think about this day coming. She doesn't want to think about this day coming if it meet me first. Abraham got to be with her for about 115 years. That's a long time to be with somebody. The relationship they must have had, just the endurance that they've had to go through. I mean, Sarah got took twice through their travels, and the Lord rebuked it and took care of it. But imagine walking that out in the flesh. We got a lot of work to do, y'all. As I look at our patriarchs, our forefathers, look at what they did wrong, look what they did right. We got a long way to go. But that's all right. It's just like a little child learning to walk and grow into a teenager. Got a long way to go. Yeshua will be right there walking it out with us. The Holy Spirit leading us and guiding us. At each step we take up in our maturity level, growth. With the growth will come more knowledge. With the more knowledge, there will come more consequence. Psalms 24. The earth belongs to Yahweh and all that fill it, the world and those who dwell in it. Hold on. What? The earth belongs to Yahweh and all that fills it, the world and those who dwell in it. Well, that's pretty much game over right there for our authority, for our sovereignty, for our desire, for our lusts, for our ways and our thoughts. Plain and simple, the earth belongs to Yahweh and all that fills it, the world and those who dwell in it. For he has founded it upon the seas and upon the waters, he established it. Who does go up to the mountain of Yahweh? And who does stand in his set apart place? He who has innocent hands and a clean heart, who did not bring his life to naught. We can only have innocent hands and a clean heart by the bloodshed grace of Yeshua Messiah. Now, what did we do with our life with that? Did we squander it? And did not swear deceivingly, he receives a blessing from Yahweh. We don't want the process. We don't want anything but the promise, the gift. Just give it to me, y'all. And righteousness from the Elohim of his deliverance. This is the generation of those who seek him. Yaakov, who seek your face. Selah. Lift up your hands, O you gates, and be lifted up, you everlasting doors. Let the sovereign of glory come in. Who is this sovereign of glory and honor? Yahweh, strong and mighty. Yahweh, mighty in battle. Lift up your heads, O you gates. Even lift up your everlasting doors, and let the King of glory and honor come in. Who is this sovereign of glory? Yahweh of hosts. He is the sovereign of glory. Selah. I think I may just stand on that one for the next coming months. Wow. Who is the King of glory? Who is it? Is it you? Is it me? Your pastor? No. It's Yahweh of hosts. He's either Lord of our lives and we work for him and only him, denying ourselves of our lusts and our patterns, or we work for ourselves. Remember, Revelation 3:16, Jesus said, I would rather you be hot or cold. Lukewarm I shall spew thee out of my mouth. Lukewarm is those who go to church once a week, live their desires and lusts through the week, not really paying much attention to prayer or reading or any care for what Yahweh would think. Just doing their thing. That's lukewarm. Yeah, but I go to church. I'm a deacon. I'm a pastor. Okay. How'd you live your life? How are you living your life? Is it for you? Is it for Yahweh? No man can serve two masters. You can't serve the world and what you do in the world if you claim to, to serve Yahweh. It won't work. Does that mean you can't have a job? No. Which means you need to do everything you can to glorify God in everything you do. Do what you do for Him, not for you and your lusts. Matthew 24. And going out, Yeshua went away from the set apart place, and his taught ones came near to point out to him the buildings of the set apart place. Yeshua said to them, do you not see all these? Truly I say to you, not one stone shall be left upon another at all, which shall not be thrown down. And as he sat on the Mount of Olives, the taught ones came to him separately, saying, say to us, when shall this be, and what is the sign of your coming and of the end of the age? And Yeshua answered and said to them, take heed that no one lead you astray. Go listen to Kenneth Copeland, Jesse Duplantis, Joel Osteen. Go listen to them and enjoy what they tell you. No, Jesus says, beware, do not let no one deceive you. You can't be deceived if you know this word. If you don't know this word, you will be deceived. For many shall come in my name, saying, I'm the Messiah, and they shall lead many astray. Many will come claiming the gospel, that they are teaching the gospel. Many will come claiming that they are the prophet of God. Follow me and listen to what I do. And they lead you astray. Joel Osteen, Kenneth Copeland, Jesse Duplantis. Shall I continue on with Joyce Meyer? I could go all day with all these wicked deceivers. And you shall begin to hear of fightings and reports of fightings. See that you are not troubled, for these have to take place, but the end is not yet. Nation shall rise against nation, ethnos against ethnos, in other words, people groups, and reign against reign, kingdoms against kingdoms. Um, America against Russia, America against China. That's the range. And there shall be scarcities of food and deadly diseases and earthquakes in places. And all these are the beginning of birth pains. Then they shall deliver you up to be afflicted and kill you, and you shall be hated by all nations for my name's sake. I preach following the Torah. I follow the Torah. I preach following the feasts. I'm hated by many. And then many shall stumble, and they shall deliver up one another, and shall hate one another. These wicked deceivers are going to begin to contradict one another to the point where they begin breaking their relationship bonds, and they're going to be, that one's a bad one. You're going to have everybody talking bad about everybody. Many false prophets shall rise up and lead many astray. Kenneth Copeland. And because of the increase in lawlessness, the love of many shall become cold. Kenneth Copeland rebuking COVID-19. I decree and declare it right now. April 7th. Or at April 11th, it's still here. But then he decreed and declared that we would find an immunization. So which is it, prophet of God? Are you decreeing and declaring that COVID-19 is squashed right now? Done? Get out of here? Or do we need to wait for man to create a vaccine to kill it? Which is it, prophet of God? Remember Deuteronomy 13 test. And because of the increase in lawlessness, the love of many shall become cold. But he who shall have endured to the end shall be saved. This good news of the reign shall be proclaimed in all the world as a witness to all nations. And then the end shall come. So when you see the abomination that lays waste, spoken of by Daniel the prophet in 11:31 of Daniel, set up in the set apart place. He who reads, let him understand. Then let those who are in Yehuda flee to the mountains. Let him who is on the housetop not come down to take whatever out of his house. Let him who is in the field not turn back to get his garments. Okay. When you see the abomination that lays waste, spoken of by Daniel the prophet, Daniel 11:31. We need to be watching for the Antichrist. Christ tells us, watch for this. That's when you flee. All of you, all of us who are of him. It's time to go. Don't gather nothing. Let's get. And let him who is in the field not turn back to get his garments. And woe to those who are pregnant and those who are nursing children in those days. You know, as COVID-19 got ramped up, they were talking about how bad it is that a pregnant woman had to go in and put herself and the baby in danger with all these COVID-19 infected people in the hospitals. We read that verse a bunch. We never really thought what it meant. I'm not saying this is it, y'all. I'm saying, look, it's starting to line up more and more. Pray that your flight not take place in winter or on the Sabbath. Wait a minute. This is the end times. How come the Sabbath? I thought the Sabbath was done away with. Huh. Maybe Jesus just misspoke. Where's my Sharpie so I can get that one out of there? Now, better listen, pay attention. For then there shall be great distress, such as not been since the beginning of the world until this time. No, nor ever shall be. If those days were not shortened, no flesh would be saved. But for the sake of the chosen ones, those days shall be shortened. Those days shall be cut off. Chosen ones. We're still here, y'all. We ain't, no rapture. If anyone then says to you, look, here's the Messiah, or there, do not believe. For false messiahs and false prophets shall arise, and they'll show you great signs and wonders, so as to lead astray, if possible, even the chosen ones. So which is it? Are we here or are we not? Are we raptured away? Who's the chosen ones left? I mean, this is in a short time period. I've been reading this Bible for 6 years diligently, 10 chapters a day, then plus what I'm studying, and I still don't have a good enough understanding to be his chosen one spoke of like here. Come on, y'all, we got to think. So when people go get all these other verses, they're taking them out of context, then it contradicts this. What do you do? See, I have forewarned you. So if they say to you, look, he's in the desert, don't go out. Look, he is in the inner rooms, do not believe. For as the lightning comes from the east and shines to the west, so also shall be the coming of the Son of Adam. For wherever the dead body is, there the vultures shall be gathered together. Immediately after the distress of those days, the sun darkened, the moon shall not give its light, and the stars shall fall from heaven. The powers of heaven shall be shaken. And then the sign of the Son of Adam shall appear in heaven. And then all the tribes of the earth shall mourn. Uh-oh. And they shall see the Son of Adam coming in the clouds with power and much great glory and honor. He shall send his messengers with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his chosen ones from the four winds, from one end of the heavens to the other. Learn this parable from the fig tree. When its branch has already become tender and puts forth leaves, you know that summer is near. So you also, when you see all these, know that he is near at the doors. Truly I say to you, this generation shall by no means pass away until this take place. The generation that all of this begins to line up will not pass because it's going to be a short time. He already said he's going to cut those days short. The Antichrist setting up the abomination of desolation is going to set up his system. And if you ain't part of his system and bow down to him, you're going to be chased and hunted. Short period of time, but mean he's going to die for that. The heaven and the earth shall pass away, but my words shall by no means pass away. His words is creation. His words is what sustains us. So this world, this system will pass away and he will create a new. That those are chosen ones of him whose names are written in the book of life are with him, and we will begin reigning with Christ. But concerning that day and that hour, no one knows, not even the messengers of heaven, but my Father only. As the days of Noah, so also shall the coming of Son of Adam be. For as there were in the days before the flood, eating and drinking, marrying, giving in marriage, until the day that Noah entered the ark. Everybody's going to be party because Antichrist set up his thing. He is looks like he fixed all their problems, financial, everything. Those deceived are like the ones left behind when the flood came. They're just happy as a lark. Everything's good. They did not know until the flood came and took them all away. So also shall the coming son of Adam be. Two shall be in the field, the one is taken, the one is left. Two women shall be grinding at the mill, one taken, one is left. Watch therefore, you do not know what hour your master is coming. And know this, that if the master of the house had known what hour the thief would come, he would have watched and not allowed his house to be broken into. Because of this, be ready too. For the Son of Adam's coming at an hour when you do not expect him. He's give us the tour. Are we going to do it? And when he comes, find us worthy, righteous, doing what he called us to do? Or are we waiting for the right hour, then try to turn? If that's the case, we're in trouble. Who then is trustworthy and wise servant, whom his master set over his household to give them food in season? Blessed is that servant whom his master, having come, shall find him doing so. Truly I say to you that he shall set him over all his possessions. But if that evil servant says in his heart, my master delays his coming, and begins to beat his fellow servants, eat and drink with drunkards, the master of the servant shall come on a day when he does not expect it, and at an hour he does not know, and shall cut him in two, and appoint him his portions with the hypocrites. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Man, we are to be sober and vigilant. Is that not what James 5:8 says? Be sober, be vigilant. Your enemy, the devil, seeks like a roaring lion. Well, we better be paying attention to what's going on to the point where we see the abomination of desolation set up his reign, his system. And if you think it's going to be, I don't know, a barcode with 666 on it, we're missing the understanding of the deception of the devil. He's going to come in so slick, it's going to look good. Hey, it's no big deal. It's just a vaccine. It's just a chip. I don't know what the mark is, and I'm not even trying to speculate. But I believe that those who are chosen and those who are his will recognize it, see it, and rebuke it. Not rebuke it, refuse it, and head for the hills, brothers. Time together. Those who endure till the end shall be saved. These damn false doctrines running around today, I am going to call them out as the Bible shows me they are. The last 3 or 4 days, I haven't looked at any news, strictly looked at Scripture. I visited with brothers all over the nation. I've broken bread with several via Zoom, a platform that, it's, I guess, kind of like Skype, but I just don't do Skype. It's been fulfilling. It's not easy walking in the ways of the Lord because you have to cut yourself out of this system. Set yourself apart for a specific purpose. You've got to come out of the world. You've got to be set apart, different than everybody else. Everybody celebrated Easter today. Christmas time comes, everybody will celebrate that. Whether you are um, a believer, half in, half out, pretty hard going believer, or even the atheist, they're all going to put Christmas trees up in their house. And they're all going to proclaim, this is what it means to me. Well, this is what it means to me until Jesus comes back. It's not going to help you. If we're not doing what if God has commanded his decrees and what we're to do. If Jesus comes back and he finds us doing so, great. We're in good shape. He finds us playing around, goofing off, not taking his Torah seriously, not taking his word seriously. Woe to that master. Woe to that servant. Ain't no joke, y'all. Y'all be blessed, be encouraged, and always be frustrated. This is the Oilfield Disciple, and I will catch you at the next reading.